Hey everyone, it's Matt here.
How's it going, everybody? This is your friend Will. You're probably wondering why is there so much things going on in the background. It's because we want to increase the production value, obviously, but also because I can't use my office space today. So I have to actually rent a place at a cafe. Anyways, let's get started.
Welcome back to another episode of Tech Kingpins. So, you're the founder of a tech startup. And now you're looking to actually start building your development team. Well, you're in luck because that's exactly what we're going to help you with today.
Before we continue, I'd just like to say, if you are a tech founder or if you are a thought leader within the tech industry, you should consider subscribing to this YouTube channel because we will always be discussing some of the hottest, newest things happening within the tech industry. Now, it is critically important to focus on both the methodologies as well as the actual process when you're finding the development team. If you are like a big company, right, you have all the time and resources in the world to experiment and formalize your interview process. But if you're a startup, you need to really focus on these things because any engineer or developer you bring on board can greatly impact the direction of the project. So without further ado, let's get into the nitty-gritty details.
The first thing we're going to look at is the method to actually finding these developers. Now, of course, the first and most simple way is to actually reach out to your personal network if you happen to know very talented developers yourself, or you can also attend networking events where developers will be or software engineers, for example.
Now, you will find that some of the principles is very transferable when, say, finding your technical co-founder, like the video we did previously. But in general, like you want to make sure that you first reach out to the existing connections you have because not only are they technically capable, but you also have experience with them. And chances are, if they are already connected with you and get along really well, chances are like you're going to find success in terms of like, actually building something together. Like you probably will be able to get along with each other is what I'm saying. And say if you're not a technical founder, right? You have to get out there. You have to make sure that other people know about you, right? So attending networking events and build that person-to-person connection when you're able to converse your business idea to them and when you're able to just show the developers your vision, you're going to be able to find much better fit in those type of situations and scenarios.
And of course, another way to go about finding developers is also to use the online platforms, the job posting platforms like LinkedIn or Jobzilla or Indeed.
Yeah, obviously these are great online platforms, especially in 2020. I don't think go to networking events and find developers right now is a great idea. But leveraging the online platforms can definitely help you find the right candidate in a timely manner.
And lastly, you can also utilize recruitment firms if you have the resources to utilize that, or if you also feel you're going to have a difficult time finding the right developers and you're not really sure what you're looking for, a recruitment firm can really help you out.
Exactly. In the beginning, you probably don't have head of HR or recruiter working for you full time, right? And chances are you don't have to find a lot of engineers on kind of like full-time basis. So it's a great time for you to actually reach out to other recruitment firms who have a lot of years of experience and also connections to help you source that talent.
No, next we're going to briefly discuss the process. Now, at the very beginning, when you're first building the MVP, you're probably going to want to outsource the development because you don't want to be investing in employees before you know there's traction. You want to wait until you have the actual minimal viable product ready and building traction, and then you start to look for your developers. And also, you don't want to rush to hire people either, because if you bring on the wrong people and it turns out they're not as good as you thought they were because you hired them too quickly and you didn't vet them properly, they can actually slow down your development and also run up your costs as well, because of course it takes more time and there's going to be more errors.
Yeah, well, Matthew said is pretty much correct. And I don't have anything to add, surprisingly.
So then we'll move on to the next step. Next, you're going to want to qualify the candidates. Now, firstly, you're going to want to check their resumes and portfolios thoroughly before beginning. in here, you don't want to just look at the skills that they have listed in your resume, but you also want to look at more the practical use of these skills. You want to look at the actual projects they've worked on utilizing these specific skills.
Now, chances are you probably also exaggerated a little bit when it comes down to job requirements. Like, for instance, you're looking for someone with 15 years of experience in React when it's only been released for 10 years. Let's say you want someone with Java experience of over 70 years, but you forget that most of the Java developers retire around before the age of 60. So you really have to be realistic and see what they actually have done with their skill set. And chances are a lot of people are okay when it comes down to describing their skill set, but when you actually ask them what they did, they can't really answer you fully. And chances are these people are only involved briefly in a small component of the overall development of a project at a broader scope. Always focus on the details.
And lastly, during the interview, you want to learn to ask the right questions, again, just to test their practical knowledge of the skills they have listed on the resume, and that they actually know how to use it to solve the problems that you have. And you also want to pay attention not only to those skills, but also to their social skills. Because remember, even though they're a developer, they're still going to be a part of your company's team and culture.
Yes, if you're a technical founder and you're interviewing candidates, it's really a good idea for you to structure your interview properly. Like, for instance, you refer to a lot of other interview questions online and try to tweak them, change them, because if you fund those interview questions, there's a great chance that the person that you're interviewing, they may have also seen the questions. So it's a great idea to draw inspiration from those interview questions, but don't actually refer to them 100%. Okay, always tweak it, always change it up a little bit to see if the person you're interviewing is able to catch up and figure out the answers. And if you're not a technical founder, there's also platforms such as HackerRank that allow you to actually test out the developer's ability to code. They do like 90-minute test of different format, mixing up like multiple choice questions and also actual coding questions. And you also want to make sure you have a mixture of design questions and the hands-on coding questions, right? You can't just have one but not the other. To, at least in my personal opinion, or at least in my professional career, the strong developers that I've encountered are always capable of thinking both critically from overall design perspective and also being able to codify their thoughts with actual code. And last but not least, also make sure that they vibe with your culture. That's right. You don't want someone to not get along with the rest of the team. That's going to create friction when it comes down to team dynamic. And that can greatly impact the direction of your product development cycle. So that's it. And that's all. Matthew, let's hit them with one of those conclusion statements.
So there you have it. These are our tips to help you find qualified developers for your startup team. Are you currently trying to find developers, or do you have any more questions? Feel free to let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content.
Yeah, hit like if you think Matthew is turning really dark right now. All right? See you guys next time. Pow.